Dying in Minecraft. Nobody likes it, but sometimes it can be pretty hilarious. Hey guys, it's Chad. On this episode of OMGcraft, we're gonna be looking at some of the most hilarious death messages. Death messages were have always kind of been a game, I guess. But they got interesting in Minecraft 1.5. But since then, they've been updated and maintained to make sure that you're never without a little bit of a giggle as you are raging because you just died. So I picked my favorite death messages and I'm going to show them to you right now. First, we are going to cover a classic. The first death message to ever give me a giggle is the pricked to death message, and that is if you stand next to a cactus and take damage, kill yourself. Obviously, that's what death message is all about. If you do it for long enough so that you die, oh, come on. There we go. It will say, OMG Chad was pricked to death. Pricked to death. They say the worst way to die is like from 1,000 cuts, 1,000 small cuts, something like that. I don't remember this quote at all. But that's what I would imagine getting pricked to death would be like. The most painful way. A lot of little itty bitty like paper cuts. This is morbid. This has gotten real morbid real fast. This next one is a very interesting way to die. Down here we have a ton of chickens. And if I enter this chicken area, I start getting hurt, and then I die with the line, OMG Chad was squished too much. Now, these poor old chickens, they weren't attacking me. They weren't squishing me. If you look, I'm not actually going into any of the walls. I'm just being hurt. Why? What a riddle. The reason is because of max entity cramming. This game rule right here, max entity cramming, and you can set a value. By default, it is set to 24. Another way to show this off is if I use these spawn eggs and spawn in exactly 24 chickens. We had 64 spawn eggs. So once we get down to 20, that is when we will have, or once we get down to 40, that's when we will have 24. So if we add one more chicken into here, one of the other chickens dies. You can watch it. There you go. It happened. And you can also hear it if I turn up my sounds. These chickens are really loud. So I've been turning off my sounds. But here we go. One more chicken. There you go. So you can't have more than 24 of these living entities in one block space. And that means that if I, as the player, jump in with these chickens, I could be the entity that dies. If I jump in here, it looked like that was a chicken that died. Oh, and there we go. Now I was squished too much because I was the entity that died. A pretty random way to die and a pretty rare death message at that. Now, everybody loves Elytra, but there are some pretty cool death messages that happen while using them. First is if you are going way too fast and then slam into the ground. Oh, wait a second. I actually knew this. It can't be the ground. It has to be a wall. So this wall right here looks good enough. Oh, I didn't actually die. It's like the only time I've ever been sad that I didn't die. Bam, there you go. OMG Chad experienced kinetic energy. If you don't know what kinetic energy is, maybe you haven't taken physics yet in school. Kinetic energy is the energy from motion. So a good example of this is that weird like ball clink game where like one ball hits another and that it moves the energy down the line. That is kinetic energy from motion. I'm no scientist. I just Googled that. Next, this one is true whether you are on ladders or if you are on vines. If you are climbing down a ladder and try to maybe make it a little bit faster by using gravity and then catching the ladder at the last moment, but you don't, you'll be greeted with the death message, Chad, or whatever your name is. I'm not going to presume your name is Chad. Probably not Chad at all. But whoever you are, you fell off a ladder. Next, if you are getting a little bit excited with the fireworks, and these fireworks do need to have some type of explosion on them, so you do need to have a fireworks star, then you'll be greeted with the death message, OMG Chad went off with a bang! This next one is one of my favorites. If you are standing on magma, and remember, you can always stop the pain by just holding down shift. So whenever you're sneaking on these magma blocks, they won't hurt you. But if for some reason you're not, you're lazy or whatever, you will discover the floor was lava, which harkens back to that childhood game. The floor is now lava. You can't be on the floor. You have to stay on all the furniture. Love it. If you are sent onto the magma with a punch, it will say, OMG Chad walked into the danger zone due to whichever player hit you. So you get to head on over to the danger zone. The danger zone. The next one seems a little bit mean. If there is someone on your server that you just absolutely hate and you punch them around a little bit, and then because you are a crazy admin with admin skills, you go in and use the /kill command, it will say that player that you killed doesn't want to live in the same world as whoever used the command. Well, there you have it. Some of the most interesting death messages in the world. Now, this is definitely not all of them. There's plenty of them that you can use, including you can get basically a death message from every mob as long as they have a Thorns enchantment on them as well. So there's a ton of death messages out there if you want to go search for them. Let me know your favorite in the comments down below. Make sure that if you enjoyed this video, give it a big ol' thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe for future tips, tricks, tutorials, and spotlights here on OMGcraft. See you next time.